I would have to be lying to you if I did not look at this plus 425 TKO prop for Jairzinho Rozenstruik, who we know it only takes one shot to put anybody out. I'd be lying to you if I didn't look at that and say, this is madness. What are we talking about? How Jailton Almeida is not a true full-fledged heavyweight. So he has a very peculiar path to victory. He has to play the game plan perfect. Does he achieve that here on Saturday night against Rozenstruik?
Woo, I'm glad you asked that, Derek, because I had the same question. How does Jailton Almeida handle the power? He's moving up, like you said, man, going from lightweight up into heavyweight. But he was a big lightweight. He had problems cutting that weight, so that's why he moved up. Now, can he stay perfect when we know the game plan? When Jairzinho Rozenstruik knows that he's going to shoot the blast double, and as a tactician, as the kickboxer, he's going to be throwing ones and twos, knees up the middle. He knows the game plan. This is a smart dude in Rozenstruik. Can Almeida stay perfect for a whole 15? I don't think so, Derek, but what I do think is that he can stay perfect for a solid 5 minutes that first round, get Jairzinho out, never let him up off his back. Do you think Jairzinho can actually escape if he gets taken down?
No. I think he can probably do the Derek Lewis, just like jiu-jitsu's not real, just stand up. You know what I mean? I think he might be able to get away with that or survive out a round to where by default you start back on the feet. But you said it yourself, man. Almeida had a tough time making that weight. Now, to clear it up, he was not a lightweight. However, he was a light heavyweight. I mean, same difference, right? But, the power of Jairzinho Rozenstruik in an attempt to where, let's say, Almeida shoots for a takedown and he doesn't get it. It's kind of Johnny Walker-esque. He hits you with some elbows, hits you with some big shots, and it's lights out. It's game over. So Almeida has to commit. When he commits, he has to go. But then that leads us to all these different scenarios. Does Rozenstruik pull a Derek Lewis versus Curtis Blades where he cracks him with the uppercut on his way in, right? Or does he take advantage? Because here's the thing, Jailton Almeida, if you pick up on one habit, is when he shoots these big blast doubles, he likes to shoot with his head to the right, on his opponent's left side. So does Rozenstruik say, I'm going to wait for the knee, I'm going to bring the uppercut, I'm going to bring one of these, or does he say, I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to wait for you and I'll go back against the cage, whatever you need to do, you know what I mean? Does he play it patient? What's the best approach to try to stave off a hungry grappler who is literally going to shoot? They're going to do it.
Now, is this the best approach? I don't think so, but I do think that the best approach, at least to disrupt things, is putting the pressure on Jailton Almeida. When I was going back and I was watching the fights, by the way, folks, if you're looking to break things down, twitch.tv/Santa Fe Bomber for the same plug. But while I was breaking things down, man, one thing I noticed, when Jairzinho Rozenstruik is full pressure on, the fight starts, and this dude is swinging for the fences, he ends up well. That fight against, who was it? It was where am I? Chris Dawkins, his last one, man. The KO in the first round. He came out heavy-footed on the front foot, gas to the ground. Excuse me, pedal to the metal. That's the word I'm trying to say. When he comes out with the pressure, this boy is dangerous, man. He's not letting you read things. He's not letting you get his timing. This boy is just throwing heat down the pipe, and it hurts. Now, if you look at him against the Volkov, he was patient. He was calculated. He was reading things. He was looking. He looked like he was a little scared of the power of Volkov. And that's ultimately what led to his downfall. So I personally think putting the pressure on Almeida and Rozenstruik, literally putting the fear of the heavyweight power into Almeida, that's going to be his best path to victory. Now, like I said, I don't think that's the best one because when you're full forward and you got a guy that's going to shoot a blast double on it, you're almost making it easier for him. Do you think the pressure of Jairzinho Rozenstruik is going to actually stave off an Almeida? Because if you look back at Almeida's fight, who was it against it might have been Parker Porter. He got hurt. No, it wasn't Parker. It might have been Shamil or Kim. But either way, he got hurt in one of his last fights and instantly shot for the ground, shot for the takedown. If Rozenstruik knows that's game plan, how effective will that be?
Well, that's the thing, is Rozenstruik has to just be ready for a counter. If you're going to pressure forward, be ready for the shot. And you have to be ready to counter his shot, right? So you're playing chess the whole entire time. Here's the unfortunate reality. Of course, he's been training for this fight, to make sure that you're fighting the grappler. You have to be ready to sprawl. You have to be ready to get to a hip, things of that nature. You watch Rozenstruik after he gets taken down, there's just little that he does with his legs. And that's the seasoned non-grappler, right? Is you use your arms, you try to bully people off and just bench press them almost. But at the end of the day, if you want to be successful in getting back to your feet and not just just getting mat returned a million times like you did against Abdurakhimov. You have to utilize your legs in this and not keep your back flat on the mat. Now, the clearest path to victory for Jailton Almeida, and this is what everybody's calling for, is Almeida submission first round, right? And it makes sense. It makes sense. He gets you down there. Why waste your time trying to knock Rozenstruik out on the ground? Just take his back, choke him, and call it a day. It most likely will be a choke, too. You're not going to want to sit back for an armbar against this guy or whatever. You don't want to go on your back. You don't want to do guarded type, submission attacks. So if that's the game plan, how does Rozenstruik avoid this fight getting to the ground? And when I play out all the simulations, I just don't see it, man. I don't see him finding a spot where he does not avoid being on his back for some time unless he knocks Almeida out with a counter. So that's why minus 550 makes sense, right, for Jailton Almeida?
Yeah, I agree with you, Derek. There's no vision in my head that I can see, Rozenstruik hitting a splits like Henry Cejudo did, dumping off, catching the underhook, and actually spin him around and then making it fight his. I just don't see it, man. The youthfulness and the explosion that Almeida presents is very challenging puzzle, especially when you're the fast heavyweight, when you're the one that's always coming in with a speed advantage. Now you don't have a speed advantage. This dude can blast double, pick you up, and slam you on your face. It seems like a mountain over here for Rozenstruik.
And this is what's tough, man. This is one of the rare fights where the legitimate true heavyweight, if the fight goes past 2 rounds, I like him better than I like Almeida. This is one of those rare times because Almeida is going to empty that gas tank. And it works until it doesn't, which is the scary part about this situation. I don't want to say that this is going to be like Raul Rosas, right? But he got to the spot he wanted. He finally got to the back. He went for the choke. And when the choke didn't happen, it was it. Now you keep shooting. Now you don't got as much gas on those shots, right? So if Biggie Boy, we've seen him go 5 rounds, but we've never seen Biggie Boy go 5 rounds, mat returns, getting back up to your feet. If both of these men are exhausted and it enters a round 3, who do you favor to win?
Ooh, I'm actually with you, Derek. I'm favoring Rozenstruik because the gas for Almeida will be a lot more detrimental when you're shooting shots. Like Rozenstruik, you're able to defend. I mean, it is hard, don't get me wrong, but you start every round on the feet, and then you have to get back down to the ground. If this is a washing machine fight, though, man, I don't expect this to go very long or be very entertaining in the 4th and the 5th, man. This will be a very draining fight for both of these individuals.
That's right. And to attest to that, when I'm at the jiu-jitsu gym and I'm sparring with my buddy Troy, shout out Troy, Carlson, Gracie Henderson, man, 300-pound behemoth of a monster of a blue belt that I'm rolling with. And because I'm a madman and I'm all of a $170, but I'll shoot in for a double on this dude. And when you don't get it, it's hard to put into words just how physically drained you get trying to force these shots against people who are physically stronger than you. And if you look at the weight, I mean, Jairzinho Rozenstruik is all of 260 pounds. All of 260 pounds. Not 225, not 230. But with that being said, man, it's kind of crazy because it goes against logic. I still like Jailton Almeida here. And believe it or not, AJ, this is the one times where I'm going to go full chalk. Give me the plus 105 submission, man. I was going to go TKO because I can see how that would be maybe even an easier path to victory for just a ground and pound victory. But when these guys are good at something, you'll notice there's a lot of submissions under Almeida's belt for a reason. They get to the back, they get to their spot, and they finish it. How do you see it?
I like the chalk, Derek. I'm actually going to take a little bit more of an adventurous route here. I do like that TKO prop. I'm going for that ground and pound TKO round 1 win from Almeida. I don't expect this to be a long fight at all.
Yeah, I mean, if it is a long fight, there's going to be some disappointment in some people's eyes because it could get ugly quick the longer it goes. You know what I'm saying?